Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Recha, Kodesh. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of 2 Chronicles, the 27th chapter. And we see here the ascension of Uzziah's son, Jotham, to the throne, right after we read about Uzziah's reign and how he got a little too zealous in trying to burn incense upon the altar, which ended up having him get struck with leprosy by the Lord. So this is 2 Chronicles chapter 27, verse 1. Jotham was 25 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 16 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name also was Jerusha, the daughter of Zadok. And he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord Yahweh, according to all that his father Uzziah did. Howbeit, he entered not into the temple of the Lord Yahweh, and the people did yet corruptly. Now, let's actually take a look here into this word entered. And let's see if this is in a literal sense. All right, bawa'ah. All right, to enter, to lead in, to carry in, to cause to come in, to be introduced. So that's interesting. So let's see how these other translations word this here. Okay. NLT says, except that, so he did everything Uzziah did, except that Jotham did not sin by entering the temple of the Lord. NIV says, but unlike, okay. So, I guess what it's saying here is that in doing, he did that which his father did, right, in the right ways of the Lord, except he didn't, he didn't make the mistake his father did by going into the temple. What it means here is that the place where only priests were allowed to go or were permitted, the acts that only priests were permitted to do, Jotham understood that and did not attempt to do that as his father Uzziah did. And the people did yet corruptly. So regardless, right, Judah started to fall back, right, into corruption. And mainly when you deal with corruption, you have things like certain sins that Israelites commit, defrauding one another and so on. But one of the main one here goes into dealing corruptly against the Lord, i.e. by worshiping idols or other gods, which really would be idols. Verse 3, he built the high gate of the house of the Lord Yahweh, and on the wall of Ophel he built much. Moreover, he built cities in the mountains of Judah, and in the forest he built castles and towers. So he expanded basically he expanded Judah, right? And what I mean by that is as it says, he built more cities, right? And castles and towers and so on. He fought also with the king of the Ammonites and prevailed against them. And the children of Ammon gave him the same year 100 talents of silver and 10,000 measures of wheat and 10,000 of barley. So that was like tribute. So much did the children of Ammon pay unto him, both the second year and the third. So Jotham became mighty, because he prepared his ways before the Lord Yahweh his God. Now the rest of the acts of Jotham and all his wars and his ways, lo, they are written in the book of the kings of Israel and Judah. He was 25 years old when he began to reign, and reigned 16 years in Jerusalem. And Jotham slept with his fathers, and they buried him in the city of David. And Ahaz, his son, reigned in his stead. So here, it's a fairly short chapter, right? But you notice when you deal with when you read about the different kings, it's these records, right, are mainly to highlight some of the things that they did. All right, it's not to be a a detailed time tracker of every single thing that they did, but the most notable ones, whether in righteousness or in wickedness. And that's what we see here. So as we can see with Jotham, based on this chapter here, he seems to have followed the ways of the Lord, and achieved some pretty great feats here, defeating the Ammonites and gaining tribute and so on and so forth. So that brings us to the end of the book of 2 Chronicles, the 27th chapter. Lord willing, this is edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Recha Kodash. And until next time, Shalom.